This podcast is part of the Batman Universe Podcast Network, hosted by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out everything related to Batman and the entire Bat family at the BatmanUniverse.net, including news and original content related to comics, movies, television, merchandise, video games, and more. Also, check out some of the other unique podcasts that TBU has to offer. Consider supporting this podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Even $1 can go a long way in supporting this content that you enjoy. Look for a link over at the BatmanUniverse.net to offer your support now. And now, on with the show.
Scarecrows frightened of a cloud that's laughing boys. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Shine that signal. Come out to play. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Bring it on, Batman. Jump out your cave. 'Cause I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Shine that signal. Come out and play. I am a Batman. I am a Batman. Bring it on, Batman. Jump out your cave. Jump out your cave.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 232 of Dublin Dane. Yes, it's for 2 episodes into that title, and I just love saying it. I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of saying Dublin Dane. And my name is Tim, and joining me is the aforementioned Dublin Dane. Dane.
Yeah. I'm glad to be here from Dublin, Dublin, Ireland.
Broadcasting live, right?
Yeah, broadcasting live from Dublin, Ireland. It's great to be here, Tim. I always love doing this with you, Tim. It's our form of therapy, right?
I would definitely agree with that, yes.
Yeah.
So before we get into the nitty-gritty of this episode, we got to piggyback on something from last week's episode where we're talking about our favorites of 2021, and on my favorite video games choice was the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. And I just told Dane how much I loved it. We even talked about it more after we finished recording the last episode. And Dane, I really encouraged him to start it because it did become available on Xbox Game Pass, I think just the same week we recorded our last episode. So Dane has started playing it, and I believe now he's kept me updated throughout his progress of the game. But he didn't tell me if you finished it or not, but I assume now you have finished Mass Effect 1, Dane. So I am really anxious to hear your full review of your first experience and playthrough of Mass Effect.
Well, I haven't finished it yet.
You haven't? Okay.
No, I only got to I forget the planet's name. Vermeer? Is it Vermeer?
Vermeer,
right? I finished Vermeer. I have to say, Tim, you might be onto something with this Mass Effect thing. I know it's been, 15 years since the game came out.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's hard to believe.
Yeah, I think you may be correct that this. Now I can see why people consider this to be like their top game of all time. Maybe if I played this game back when it came out, I'd be the same way as you. But of course, I still love it, and I can see why you guys, go on and on about it.
Yes. See, I'm so glad to hear that because the first game is a great game in its own right. But if you feel this way about the first one, I really can't wait for you to play Mass Effect 2 and 3 because those ones just take it to a whole nother level. So
yeah,
really glad you're enjoying this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And just to get a few cons out of the way, or maybe I should just ask you, Tim, does the combat get a little better? It is because it's a 15-year-old game or whatever, but I feel some of the combat is is laggy, and it doesn't really have like that. I don't know, polish on it.
Well, I keep saying this to you a lot when you were texting me about it, and I'm gonna probably say it a lot right now, but almost everything gets improved in the next game, and combat is definitely one of them. You'll notice right away from the very first mission you do in the second game, you'll feel how tight the controls are, just how smooth it is in the gameplay department. So, yes, I could definitely say that does improve in the second one.
Okay. Also, my second one is: does the running get any better? Can you go any faster than your casual jog?
No, yeah, there is like a run dash button.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure.
it's finite though. It's like you can only do it for so long.
No, I never really felt an issue with that, to be honest. So to me, it's always been
Yeah.
okay. But you do get a pretty cool biotic move called charge in the second game that just lets you kind of go pretty much speed across from one end of the room to another and attack an enemy.
Yeah.
So that helps with if you want to get to a location a little quicker.
Okay. And then my third one is a big one. Is does the planet exploration get any less boring? I mean,
Yes,
it's so boring. It's like, why do I need to go here?
yes, it does, because they kind of
Okay.
get rid of it altogether. Honestly,
Oh, good, good. Yeah,
they have
because that one is like that's one of my like biggest complaints about Mass Effect is sometimes you're doing a side mission and then you got to go to this planet and then it's just a blank map and you got to try and you got to go through the entire map to try to find this one little area
yeah.
that you can get like the log at or find
Yeah.
out what happened to the guys or whatever. That's one of my biggest complaints. Also, the controls on the is the Mako?
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of the worst controlled
Yeah.
vehicles I've ever driven in a video game. It's so bad, especially on I forget the name of that planet, the business planet with the hotel. Uh, Jeez, I'm forgetting. Is it? No, I don't think it's Pharaohs. Or is it Pharaohs?
No, it is. Yeah. I'm trying to
Oh,
remember too.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like once you get out of that first area and then you got to take the Mako to the second
That's right.
area, and there's like a bunch of objects in the way, and it's just like you're going straight. You hit a little, I don't know, pothole, and then you go flying
Yeah.
in 85 different directions. You know, that's my third complaint. That I mean, so sort of like altogether is like, does the driving get better? Does the exploration get any better? You know?
Yeah. So like all that stuff you will not have to worry about in the second and third game, because the
Okay.
Meko is pretty much another thing they just completely get rid of.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
get rid of it completely. You don't even drive it.
Nope.
Oh, okay, good, good. It becomes more of a action adventure game rather
Yes.
than like exploration sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that has me excited. It's
There
because
is a
like
different there is a different feature in Mass Effect 2 that I'm kind of curious what you'll think about it. You might think it's boring as well, but I don't know, for some reason I like doing it, because you can still visit each planet, but then you can send out these probes to the planet to pick up like these elements and materials to help upgrade your ship and weapons. And you just basically go on this galaxy map, you select a planet, you send a probe, you scan the planet, and you see if it'll tell you like if there's something there to send a probe, and then you could do that almost for every planet. So I did like that feature in Mass Effect 2. I kind of got addicted to it a little bit, but that's
yeah,
another thing. I'm not sure how much you'll spend too much time on it, if you'll find that boring or not. But I'll be curious to hear what
yeah.
you think about that feature.
It's because in Mass Effect 1, it's like you have a side mission and then you gotta go find the guys or what happened to the guys, right? And then you go to the planet or the system and then the planet and then you know you get dropped down in the Mako and then you're just wandering around and it's like after a while like I was just like, I'm just gonna focus on the main story.
Uh huh.
I'm not gonna go off. I mean, I know I'm missing some story and I'm missing some gear and XP and stuff, but it's like I just can't do it. I just can't go to the planets and like search for 30 minutes trying to find the thing, you know. Um, my fourth complaint is probably my biggest complaint, I'd say, and that is the unlock skill for some of the chests. It's like you gotta have the right team makeup before you even get to the planet. That's my biggest complaint. And I know you said in the second game, things. How does it go, Tim? Like you're automatically given credit for it, even
It's like
even though you don't have the person with you.
you don't need those skills. Like there's like these kind of like puzzle mini games that if you need to unlock a chest or something, so you just have to do that. But it doesn't matter what like class you are or what's your skill levels at. You could just hack any of those like chests or doors. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to worry about that.
The button pad puzzles, right? You're talking
Yeah, they're
about
a little
like
different.
okay,
They're a little different in
yeah.
the second game. Yeah, but
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So that's my complaints about the game.
and it's good to say that all those complaints are addressed in the next one.
Yeah, it's like from what I hear, it seems like BioWare, really, really listened to what was wrong with their first game, and then they put it into their second game. So,
Yeah, got to give them props for that.
as for the story, I really found myself being engaged with it. You know how like the council doesn't really trust humans, and then you become the first human inspector, and then like they still don't trust you. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Tim. There were some times after I finished a planet that I was completely rude and cut them off. It's like I'm not dealing with you guys anymore.
Oh man,
uh,
see, I cannot wait to find out what you do in the very last mission of the game. It's going to be interesting now that you said that.
Speaking of the end of the game, how close am I to beating it? I
you're,
just finished Vermeer. Yeah.
you're pretty close. That's what I thought you might have finished it by now. Since you told me you finished the Vermeer mission, there's not really many stuff after
Much.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to beat it today. Then from the sounds of it, but the story I really love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
At first I was a little standoffish. I was like, okay, this is just another Star Wars ripoff. Let's go.
Oh no.
And then I sort of started getting more interested in it, especially with like Captain I forget his name already. Our commander.
Don't tell me Shepard,
Oh
right?
no, not Shepard. Not Shepard.
I was gonna say you don't remember your own name.
Your commander in the beginning of the game.
Oh, Anderson.
Yeah, Captain Anderson, and like his history, and just how it plays into the game. And I am blanking on the villain's name. I know they've said it like 5,000 times.
Saren.
Saren, yeah. Um, j- just seeing how like they have the back and forth. That was the initial thing that got me really into the game, and how once you go to the Citadel, there's people with different stories. There's side missions on the Citadel with different stories. There's characters with their own story, and they're off doing their own thing. That's sort of what got me interested in the or made me start paying attention to the story. Then you have the whole thing with Saren. What he's trying to do, he's trying to bring back the Reapers, and essentially trying to do the Eternal storyline in Mass Effect.
They did it first.
Yeah, Mass Effect first, of course. But yeah, just trying to do the Eternal storyline. That I can't wait to see how that shakes out. I mean, I'm sure Shepard's gonna save the day, Tim. I don't know. I have a feeling, but
well, the choice is yours, so
yeah. Um, I really, I mean, despite my complaint, is I really like the gunplay in the game. I like the cover system. I like how you have to actually use the cover system. You
Yeah.
can't just walk into a room and just like start blasting away. Um, so yeah, I love the story. I love the gameplay. I love some of the puzzles, except for that one in that reactor.
Yeah.
That would take me forever to figure it out.
I forgot about that when I replayed it again.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
it was so frustrating. I almost looked it up. I almost looked at the walkthrough, but I figured it.
I wouldn't blame you if you did.
I, I don't know how I figured it out, Tim. I can't explain it to you. I can't go into a detailed thing of how I did it. But I eventually did. I but I think where the game really, really shines is not the overall story. I think it is the side missions, especially on Pharaoh's. The Pharaoh's mission really got me interested in the story, where it's like there's multiple branches you can sort of take to get the security pass to get to the
Yeah.
tower, right?
Yeah, because you could shoot your way through that if you want.
Yeah, and you can spy on businessmen, or you can help the secret undercover agent. Um, that's what I really that's what I really liked about it. And just like how, like I said, everybody has their own individual story,
Yeah,
and
I just get so invested
Bio
in it.
yeah, BioWare really did a good job on that, and it's what they did better than anyone in the Baldur's Gate series, which is the only other BioWare games I've played besides Knights of the Old Republic.
Mm.
So yeah, I really miss playing a BioWare game and actually enjoying it. You know,
What was the last one you played? Was Anthem, wasn't it?
yeah. And you saw what happened with that one.
Yeah.
I haven't played the Dragon Age games, but I see they're on the Game Pass, and I do have it downloaded on my Xbox. So
I haven't played
uh,
those either, but I've heard they're really good too.
yeah, yeah, it's like the spiritual successor to their Baldur's Gate games. But um, yeah, at the end of the day, it's I can go into the story, I can go into like the gameplay and stuff and the puzzles, but it's more like the character story, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate how you can go and talk to various characters on your ship that are part of your team and get
Mm-hmm.
a little more backstory. Like for instance, Ashley doesn't uh, she doesn't trust anyone. It seems like
Especially
um,
not aliens, that's for sure.
yeah. She's literally a racist.
Yeah.
So yeah, just little stuff like that. I I kind of wish they made the upgrade system a little easier. And I also wish they made the or at least the menu. When you're switching out your guns and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish they made that a little more intuitive.
Well,
Um,
it's not like a broken record. That's another thing they've addressed in the second one too. So
yeah. Oh, and while we're at it, another small little complaint that I have, because I do like the fact that you don't know where you're going, is the fact that you don't know where you're going. You know, um, the mission details are like, go talk to Tim. He is located in the northwest building in the 8th sector of the area, right? I wish there was a little more guidance, but
Mm.
is that something that they work on in
But
the
yeah, especially in the third
second?
one, I know they have like a system, or I think we just clicked like the right stick and it shows you where your objective's at.
Oh, okay, I see. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's so great to be playing a Bioware game that I truly enjoy, and that's one thing I'm sort of coming away with. And like every time like I finish a planet, it's like, wow, that was really well done. You know, that planet story was really well done. Um, so yeah, that's my review.
Awesome. So glad you're enjoying it. Sounds like as much as I did, and you're really getting into the whole story and the universe and the characters. Because, like you said, that's I think Mass Effect's biggest strength is its characters, and it only
Yeah.
gets better as the story goes on in the second and third game. And by the time you get to the end of the third game, you might even get a little weepy as far as saying goodbye to some characters. But again, or maybe some of the decisions you
Oh,
make, some characters might not even make it to the second or third game. It all depends on you. So,
well, you, like I told you, Tim, Caden isn't.
he's not. Yeah. That's like one of the biggest decisions in that game. I remember playing that for the first time, like, oh, shoot. Like, they're actually making me choose.
And who did you choose, Tim?
I chose Ashley the first time, but then when I was
Yeah.
replaying it this time, I was like, man, she really is kind of a jerk. And like you said, I was a flat out racist. I chose Kaden on this one.
I see. Yeah, that one is a little hard because you had set me up before, and I was like, okay, somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna get it, and just listening to like, okay, so we gotta send guys here, and they're gonna be like a distraction, and a lot of them are gonna die. So, who do you want to send? So I was like, oh, okay, so that person that I'm gonna send is gonna die, and yeah, so I sent Caden, and then you get another chance to save the character, right?
Mm.
And I saved Ashley again. So yeah, I it's only the fact that or because Caden didn't really have like that sort of story, like say Liara, right? Liara's mom is closely connected to Saren, and
Yeah.
it's just Caden is just like a guy, like a fellow Marine, So I was like,
Exactly.
sorry, Caden, you gotta go.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah,
gonna be like another, like I said, there's some big choices at the end, and this as the games progress, certain decisions you make, some characters might not be with you. So that's why I just can't wait to hear your journey as you play all the games and see the outcomes you get. So it makes me so
yeah,
happy that you're loving it.
yeah. I love it. I can see why this is like right up there with Star Wars for you. Cool ships, cool planets,
Cool
cool
alien designs.
characters,
I might go on
alien
record say it's the
designs.
best
Yeah,
aliens designs in any sci-fi. I love the aliens looks in Mass Effect. All of them look unique and different. They're not like ripping off anything from Star Wars or Star Trek. It's so unique to its own universe, and they all look great.
yeah. You're probably correct. I can't really think of any other sci-fi that I was like super into like the design aspect of it
Yeah.
besides Star Wars. Um, but yeah, I totally enjoy this game, and I can see why you guys, all of you Mass Effect fans, and celebrate November 7th, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I can
And
see
7 days.
why. Yeah, I can see why you guys love it. I can tell you right now, if I played this 15 years ago, I would be right there with you, Tim. But um, yeah, I love it. BioWare did an extremely good job. It's really impressive. Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard the Normandy of the fandom.
Oh, the Normandy design is so cool. That is one of the coolest ships I've ever seen in any sci-fi. I gotta say the
It
Normandy.
is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, one other aspect, Tim, just really quick, is I really like how it's sort of like an us versus them sort of thing, where it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I touched on this earlier, where it's like it's like it's your crew versus the council, right?
Mm,
And it's like you go back and forth, and you're constantly arguing, and it's like you it's you guys versus them. That's another aspect I really like. They really do a good job with.
Yeah, that's kind of a theme throughout all the games too. You'll see it. Things definitely get flipped up on the second one to see.
Oh,
Yeah, as far as like, I don't want to say too much, so you'll see when
yeah,
it
don't
happens.
don't.
But okay. All right. Well, if you beat it tonight, definitely keep me posted on your decision for the end because I can't wait to hear what you do.
I will. I will, Tim.
All right. So I guess we got a new segment now. Mass Effect updates from Dane as he plays through the series.
Yeah, until I beat all three of them and sort of slog through Andromeda.
I don't even know if I'm going to do that, so we'll see. I still have to do that.
Well, I mean, Tim, it's free. It's free on Xbox
Well,
Game Pass.
I've had it for 5 years. The game is sitting
You
on my
still-
shelf. Yeah. It's actually a physical copy. That's how long
Wow.
ago I've had it.
Wow, Tim. What a fake fan you are, Tim. I gotta say, what a fake Mass Effect fan you are.
That's why I have to play
I
it
can't believe
eventually.
it, Tim. I can't
Like
believe it. You're a fake fan. I'm
someone
more
who
of a
just joined the
fan than
fandom is just calling me a fake fan. What?
you.
I will not tolerate
I'm
that.
more of a fan. I'm more of a fan than you are, Tim.
The one thing I got to say, I'm disappointed in Dane. You didn't create your own Shepherd. You just went with the generic.
Do they give you another chance to do that in the second game or no?
To be honest, I'm not really sure because I've always just imported my Shepherd that I created from the first one.
I see. I see. Well, I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I was playing around with the character editor, and I couldn't make my guy ugly enough. I mean, it sort of
That
just
was the
looks like the
problem.
shepherd. Yeah, yeah. Like you could change the color of his skin, you could change his facial structure. I, I just couldn't make him ugly enough. You know,
But I've seen some
I was
pretty
going
ugly
for like,
Shepherds from fan playthroughs and all that stuff that people have done. There's some pretty bad ones.
well, here's what I was gonna do. I was gonna make him extremely pale, like glow in the dark pale, right?
Uh,
I was gonna have his cheekbones come out all the way, as well as his eyebrows, and give him giant ears, and bring his forehead out. But it still looked good. You know what I mean?
well, maybe you should just settle on making a good-looking Shepherd.
I guess. But it's I don't know, Tim. Don't judge me. You haven't played Andromeda. I've played Andromeda. Okay. There's
I,
Mass Effect fans that have played Andromeda and have completed the story, and there's other fans like you, Tim, that haven't.
what have I gotten myself into now? You're not gonna let this go.
No, I'm not. I'm a Mass Effect fan now, Tim. And as far as I'm concerned, those who haven't played Andromeda are.
That doesn't look to change anytime soon.
Are there Mass Effect gatekeepers, Tim?
I'm sure there are, but there has to be, right? And everything.
Yeah.
But I don't want to find out what the official stand on that for Andromeda is. So I won't necessarily worry about that. All right. Well, until we get another update from Dane on when he finishes Mass Effect, the first one, the second one, and third one, and maybe Andromeda, we don't know. But I'm sure by that time we'll still be continuing on with our Fellowship of the Ring commentary minute by minute, as we are only on minute 21. And this episode will be going from 21 to 22. So, as always, you want to go ahead and get your VHS copy, your Laserdisc copy, your Betamax tape, your film projector copy of it, your HD DVD copy of it, your Blockbuster membership video rental that you just got from the only Blockbuster store in Alaska. Was it in Oregon or Alaska? I forget. Where's that last one? That
I think it was in
documentary.
Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, Bend, Oregon. And then, yeah.
You did send me that funny picture of their advertising.
Yeah, I guess the algorithm won out. No,
It's like we don't have algorithms. We have algorithms. Like call us
Yeah.
for like recommendations or something like that.
Oh
That
God.
that had to be an old billboard. Like that couldn't be one from the one in Oregon. That last door,
Oh
right?
no, I don't think so. That's has to be a old billboard that nobody took down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last attempt to try to beat Netflix.
Yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, you can get your Netflix physical media disc that you just got delivered in the mail, or you could use your DVHS copy. But the one me and Dan will be watching is our VHS to converted DVD copy that we just cannot use any other format. It's proven to be the one that lasted generations and will continue to last generations of the best media format to watch movies. So if you got that set up, I'll go ahead and give the countdown. Dan, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Too.
3, 2, 1, play. We picked up where we left off of Bilbo recounting his tale against the trolls.
Still haven't made it out of the party.
Nope. Well, Gandalf's having a good time right there, though.
I know.
Some pretty good
Around.
wizard dance moves. But he got off the dance floor pretty quick to go to his fireworks.
Yeah, I know.
It's like dancing, having a good time. Like, oh crap, I gotta do my fireworks show. And the official introduction to Merry and Pippin, as Pippin, I guess, got done performing his Hobbit banjo.
So am I to assume that the hobbits think that Gandalf is just a guy with fireworks?
I think most of them, yeah, they probably don't
Oh.
really understand the full concept of him being a wizard.
Yeah.
I like the short little extended sequence showing the Saxville Bagginses and how Bilbo can't stand him. But I guess we'll have to wait more on that until our next episode because our minute is up.
Yeah,
And the part-
because don't you forget that whole first part of Fellowship of the Ring is a property dispute.
Yep. So at least Peter Jackson included a very little bit of that in the extended edition for the diehards to get that little extra detail of the Bagginses in there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Was that a extended scene or was that part of the original?
No, it was definitely extended.
Yeah. Hey, are there people? I'm sure I've asked you this before, but are there Lord of the Rings fans that only prefer the theatrical cuts? You know, like Star Wars fans only want the 77 version. Yeah.
So you know what? Nothing will surprise me. I'm sure there are, but how can anyone be a diehard Lord of the Rings fan and not prefer the extended editions? I mean, it's more of the books and stuff and the lore of Middle Earth. So maybe there is. I'm sure there is, but I think the vast majority, it's got to be the extended editions.
Yeah.
Casual people, like casual audiences, maybe theatrical release. But if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you consider yourself a fan, it has to be the extended cuts.
Okay, so extended cuts, and then Peter Jackson is going to go back and redo the visual effects, I guess. And that's the thing that people are going to complain about. It's like bring back the original extended editions, right?
There was there is more footage that he could add, and I think at like a convention a couple of years ago, someone asked like, "Would you be willing to do that to like make an ultimate extended cut?" He goes, "If the powers that be allow me to do it, yeah, I'd love to go back and kind of insert all of it." So I would love if he got the chance to do that.
How is there more footage?
There's more. If you can look some of them up on like YouTube, where they're like unfinished sequences and ones that are just like from like B camera roll footage, but they're there.
Wow, I wonder if like people are like, until Peter Jackson puts those scenes in the extended editions, there is it's not complete, you know.
There's probably some that feel that way, I would think. But never say never. That's become my motto for all the stuff that potentially could be out, that could come to fruition.
Oh yeah, just mention the Book of Boba Fett to any Star Wars fan, and you'll get a wide range of opinions on the Book of Boba Fett.
That's for sure.
I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Book of Boba Fett. I know a lot of people have problems with it, and you got to remember that this is a new thing, and the only thing that you know about this character is, I mean, the character of Boba Fett is that he knows how to. I mean, he sort of just walked Han frozen in the carbonite into his ship, and he got knocked over by a blind man. That's all you know about him.
If your only exposure was the movies, that is correct. Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's the canon. So yeah, that's all you know about the character. But I do have to say I really enjoyed the 5th episode of the Book of Boba Fett, the Return of the Mando. I thought this is definitely their best episode yet. The fourth episode was a little forgettable.
Forgettable, really. There's some awesome stuff in that one. I mean,
Yeah, it was a
Slave One
bit
took out the
forgettable.
Starlight Pit. I mean, how awesome was that?
Yeah, but yeah, I just felt that like we kind of didn't need that. But the 5th episode, I really enjoyed. It was something that I didn't expect to see. I don't have my ear close to the Star Wars ground like you do, Tim. So did you know that Mando is coming back?
No, I didn't. I'm trying to keep away
Oh
from most of
wow,
that type of leaks and stuff from now because
yeah,
I want to be surprised too. But
yeah,
I mean, the only tease we got was in the end of the 4th episode where they played his theme song at the very end when they said we need some muscle. That
yeah.
was the only clue that we had. But the
I
fact we got a
see.
whole episode dedicated to him was definitely a surprise. And I both loved it and was also disappointed at the same time because it's like
Really? About
you're
what, Tim? What could you
just
possibly?
because there is no Boba Fett in an episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And where the episodes are
Uh,
so the season length is so short, only 7 episodes, and I just felt it really just there's so much you could do with the character of Boba Fett in those 7 episodes that to take one away from him was like I wish they could have incorporated him more into this episode than instead of having him not in it at all. And I just worry that things might I hope not. I have confidence in the crew that it won't be, but certain story threads might feel a little rushed in these last 2 episodes and might not get resolved right away. But I don't know. We'll see how it all wraps up. It could be a mute point if everything ends in a satisfying way with the story for season 1. But I just couldn't help but feel disappointed that Boba Fett was not involved at all in this episode. But at the same time, everything we got in this episode was just fantastic. I mean, it's the Mandalorian season 3 premiere. Let's not kid ourselves. So, just put in the middle of the Book of Boba Fett.
or a pre-premiere, right?
Season
Uh,
pre-premiere.
yeah. So I got to question you on some of that. So like, this is the sort of we're getting the band together right now, sort of
Mm,
ramp up to the war, right?
yeah.
Uh, so like, I sort of like, I don't know. I can give it a little space where it's like, okay, so we're just gonna have a Mando episode, but he's going to be a crucial part of this upcoming war that we're probably gonna see in 6 and 7. You know,
Hmm.
so I don't know. I can sort of like look the other way on that.
Yeah, maybe if the season was longer, if it was like a 10 episode season, yeah, okay, I probably wouldn't even be an issue for me. But just the fact that it's so short and we're at the end of it, and like I said, the last 2 episodes are left, I just felt
Yeah,
Boba Fett had to be included in some way on it.
I see. Yeah, well, Tim, you can be wrong and I can be right, and we can just be all right with that. Okay.
Yes, we can. Shocker, right?
No, no. Yeah, I can see your point. I would. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do it. They're probably not gonna do it, but I would like to see a Fennec Shand episode like that.
Mm,
You know, where she's off doing her own thing away from Boba Fett because we haven't really seen her
yeah,
do anything in
that would have been
this
cool
season.
too.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe she will get
so
one. I mean, I just hope that this isn't a one and done season for the show. I hope it gets another season because that's another thing. If it's
yeah,
we get another season, yeah, this having an episode without Boba won't be too big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But if it's like a one and done, then that's where it's like,
I don't know, the way that people are talking about it, I don't think
well, I don't think
people
that's what they're
really like
basing
it.
off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're probably basing it off of how many people watch it, actually
Exactly.
watch it. Hey, how are you enjoying the new High Republic book?
I'm enjoying it. I will say I'm almost done. I'll probably finish it this weekend. I will say it is took a little while for things to get going, and it took about a good 100 and almost 50 pages for like the actual story to kick in of what the book is about. So,
Yeah.
but once that did, like it's been pretty good. Probably not as good as the very first one. That's going to be hard to top. I love that book, Light of the Jedi, but this one's still good though.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I'm almost done with it,
Uh,
uh, and I just can't get into it. I think it's so much of the you know Stellan thought this, and then he looked towards the aft part of the room, and he thought about what the Force means to the Jedi, sort of thing. And it's like, okay, but can we get like some story progression? Because
yeah, that's the thing with a
I,
lot of.
I feel this is like more of the same, where it's like it's a disaster movie that we're trying to get out of.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
it was the same as Claudia Gray's other book, the YA book. I can't remember the
yeah,
name of it.
that one was another one that was hard to get into. Also, that took a long time to get
Yeah,
to the point, pretty much.
yeah, and like I feel like this is just another copy of that.
A
And it's
little
like
bit, yeah.
I think we got to get out of the disaster mode. I mean the disaster movie setting, right? Like we've had three stories where it's just we're in survivor mode, and we have to figure out the thing to survive, and we got to rescue the people, and we got to try to figure out how to rescue those
Hmm.
people. And I think we just got to get out of this already. I think it's too repetitive because we've had four books where it's like the same thing, um, to various degrees of success. Like I really liked the second one. I didn't like the first one. I didn't like the YA one, and yeah, I just don't like this. I mean, I'm trying to get through it, and I'm almost done with it. I do like how they. I mean, I haven't finished it, but I do like how they kill two Jedi
Yeah.
sort of right off the bat.
Yeah, one of them kind of surprising too.
Yeah, yeah,
That'd be a character they killed off. Yeah.
yeah. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's too repetitive of what we had before. There's too much, what the character is thinking, and then a little bit of okay. So if we reroute the power to the relay, and the station is this, then we can do that. And, sort of that. It's too much um, of what the characters are thinking, and too little of like story. I guess you could say
Mm.
like the progression of a story. And yeah, I have a I'm having a really hard time with this one, just like I did with Claudia Gray's first book.
Yeah, that's a very fair criticism. I would agree with that too, where they have to kind of get past, like you said, the disaster movie scenario, because that is something that when you mention it, every book has kind of had something like that, and I totally agree. So that that is a fair criticism, but hopefully this will be it, because the fall of Starlight Beacon's a pretty huge thing to happen, of course,
Thing. Yeah.
in the galaxy right now at this time period. So we'll see where the next phase goes, but I agree that's fair criticism. I just think the overall High Republic, I really like the novels. The comics have been pretty good, but I just felt they were a little too ambitious with having too much going on, like too many releases. I think young adult novels,
Mhm.
comics, and children's books and all that. And I haven't felt the necessity to where when I read the main novels that I should have read this or I should have read that. But at the same time, there are certain characters that there's a lot of character name drops, and it is kind of hard to keep track of them, kind of when you know. there are some that are doing their own thing in other stories. So I think it should have been condensed a little bit too, with not having so much out there. But for me right now, all I'm getting is just the main novels and reading the comics when they come on Marvel Unlimited. So that's kind of my extent in diving into the High Republic until we get the TV show, The Alkalite. So
Yeah, how are the comics?
they're pretty
Are
good. They're
they?
nothing great. I felt the whole, because that's where the main battle with the Drengir, the plant creatures, took place,
Yeah.
and I felt that was a little anticlimactic how that all wrapped up. So, but there's some good stuff in there, but nothing. I don't think that's like, oh, you must read
Essential.
material. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I see. And I kind of don't really get the hype behind Claudia Gray. Is it because of her Leia book?
No, it's their
Or
first book, the young adult novel,
yeah.
Lost Stars. That's fantastic. That's one of the best Star Wars books you're going to read.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, so
I haven't. Yeah.
then after that's kind of where she started getting a name for herself. But I don't think she's really captured the level that book was. I did enjoy the Leia book Bloodline. I thought that was pretty solid, but some of the other stuff just kind of been hit or miss.
I see. And people really like her stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
Or Star Wars fans in general really
yeah.
like her stuff. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been two misses for me so far with Claudia Gray, her YA book and this one. It's like I don't really get it. Maybe I got to read Lost Stars and the Leia book, but
Yeah, those two aren't the best, I guess, introductive. If that's the first time you're reading one of her books, for me personally, I would agree it's not the best one to be your first exposure to her writing. Lost Stars would be the one to go with.
I see. Well, we'll see with the ending.
Yeah,
How far are you in the book?
I'm
What
pretty close.
was the name?
I think I'm on
Oh,
page like 275, like something like that. Like the last near the end of the 200s, and the books are like 340 pages or something like that. So
did you
I
get
should
to the? You see, I don't want to. I'm not sure who's ahead of who right now, but
exactly.
uh, I'm trying to think of a thing that's not really spoilery that I can say just to gauge where you are. Did you get past? Did you get past the part with where Geode does this thing?
No, I haven't gotten that part yet. Then okay, so there's stuff
Okay,
coming up with
no.
Geode. Okay,
Okay, so I'm past you then.
yeah. So
That's
you must be really close to finish
yeah,
it.
yeah. Because I just get the audiobooks because
Mm.
they're really well done. It's more like a movie. So I think I've got like an hour and a half left.
Okay, yeah. Then you're
So
pretty
yeah,
close. But we'll see who finishes first. Well, you got to finish Mass Effect first. When you finish Mass Effect,
yeah,
I'll finish this, and then you'll finish the audiobook.
yeah.
Then we'll be all in sync with Mass Effect and the High Republic. All right. Well, with that, I guess we can go into, I guess, what our future topic's going to be for this episode. Kind of continuing on from our last one, we look back on 2021. Now we're just going to say what we're most excited for in 2022 when it comes to all this great entertainment stuff, movies, TV shows, video games, etc., all that stuff. So for me, I guess we'll go ahead and start off with, like we did with our favorites of 2021, we'll start off with movies. And thankfully, this is going to be a no-brainer for anyone listening. We're pretty close to the most anticipated movie of 2022. Obviously, it's going to be The Batman. I mean, we're so close to it right now. We just got a little over a month, and you're really starting to feel the hype for it. And some couple of news. I might as well throw in some of the news items for the Batman I was going to talk about on this episode, since we're talking about the movie right now. It has been confirmed, the runtime for it, and how it will be the longest Batman movie and the longest, well, not the longest comic book movie, but one of the longest, but definitely the longest Batman movie ever, where it's just going to be a little under 3 hours, and that's kind of without credits. So I believe it's like 2 hours and 50 minutes, something like that, before credits. I don't have the exact time in front of me, but it's going to be almost 3 hours, and that's awesome. And I'm someone, you hear this phrase where it's not about the length of a movie, it's about the pacing of the movie. I totally believe that, because you can have a 3.5 hour, like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, those 4 hours, they fly by. Even Zack Snyder's Justice League does not feel like 4 hours watching it. And then you got other movies that are just an hour and a half and they feel like 3 hours. So you can't pay too much attention to the runtime, but when I heard that this movie was almost going to be 3 hours, I was like, yes. It got me more excited, not going to lie, because everything about it just looks awesome. And the fact that we're going to spend almost 3 hours in this world that Matt Reeves has created for Batman, I couldn't be more excited to spend that amount of time in a movie theater with this version of Batman, Gotham, and all these characters we're going to be seeing from that Matt Reeves is going to give us. So it's awesome. And I believe just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we had the official theme come out. It was officially released on all the streaming services. And we obviously have heard it in the first look tease of Robert Pattinson in the costume and throughout the trailers, but just hearing the whole thing as almost a 5-minute track, it's really great. I mean, it blows me away almost. Is how every time there's a new incarnation of Batman, especially on screen, he gets a great music theme. I don't think there's been a bad one yet. Even going back to the 1966 version of With Adam West, that's a great theme song too. And then obviously 89, The Dark Knight, even Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, what they did for Ben Affleck's theme for Batman versus Superman, and now this one. It just, each one's different, but they just feel like Batman. Just really great. So I love the ones that Michael Giacchino came up with for this. And there's more to it to when you listen to the full track, where there's even some more orchestral and like somber vibe to it, I guess you could say, in the middle of it, where it's not just that theme that you've heard through all the trailers. There's definitely more to it, but it just makes for a great track as a whole. So just all the stuff starting to trickle out now for the Batman, just getting me more excited for it. And that's obviously my most anticipated movie of this year, and we're just a month away from that. But another movie I want to throw out that I can't wait for, we haven't seen anything or very little of it, is Jurassic World Dominion. I mean, I love the Jurassic Park franchise. This one I can't wait for. We're bringing the original cast back with Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum's coming back. Even though he was in Fallen Kingdom, he's coming back for this one, which is great. And just that whole premise of just dinosaurs roaming loose with mankind over the world is going to be pretty interesting to see. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. So I think we should get a trailer for it during the Super Bowl, so hopefully not too long, but that's another one I can't wait for. And of course, we got more Marvel MCU movies coming out. I'm looking forward to seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Is going to be such a trip, especially coming off of Spider-Man No Way Home. So a lot of stuff to look forward to, but you just can't top when there's a new Batman movie that's going to coming out in a year, and we're so close to it. So it's definitely that one for me.
Yep, definitely Batman.
Yeah.
There's really no other movie that I'm really excited to see. I'm just trying to rack my brain right now.
Just real quick, did you hear the whole track for the theme song?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
Definitely check it out. It's really good. Like I said, it's definitely more to it than just the theme you've been hearing in all the trailers.
You know what they should do is they should just have Something in the Way as the theme song.
I know we're going to hear it more throughout.
Over.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think we're still going to hear it throughout the movie too, because Matt Reeves keeps talking about how like Nirvana was such an influence on him, even like modeling a little bit of Batman after Kurt Cobain when he was writing the script. It's just really cool to hear too. So I think we're going to still hear it throughout the course of the movie.
Yeah, they should just have that as the main theme already, because
it's already proven to work, right?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely it definitely matches the movie. It seems like, so just have Something in the Way, or at least that's going to be my theme for the Batman. Yeah, just the Batman, I guess. I guess I'll wait for the all the Marvel movies to go to Disney Plus.
Yeah, well, you don't have to wait long. I mean, it's usually just 2 months now after the theatrical release and they come on Disney Plus. So you'll be seeing them sooner rather than later now.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Top Gun, maybe.
That's what I keep forgetting about Taco. It's supposed to come out in
Yeah.
2020, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. That should be fun to see again.
Yeah, it keeps getting delayed, so maybe Top Gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays in 2022. We'll see.
2024, I think.
That'd be great. Out of all
Definitely.
the movies that have been delayed the longest, I would not pick Top Gun to be the one where they really feel like that's the one that you have to see in the theater.
I wonder why they keep delaying it. You know,
I know.
the James Bond one came out. Eternals came out.
Like the studios are getting caught up, it seems like, but that one,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, they just feel it has to be,
In the movie theater.
yeah,
In
exclusively.
IMAX or whatever.
But
So,
that I'm glad you said that because I am looking forward to that.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to TV shows, and there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff this year. Obviously, the Disney Plus stuff with Marvel, Star Wars, and even other streaming services. Stranger Things season 4 will be hitting Netflix. The Game of Thrones spinoff, The House of the Dragon, is coming to HBO Max this year. So pretty much there's going to be no shortage of TV shows if you have subscriptions to all those streaming services. But amongst all the stuff we know is coming, there's two of them that are at the top of the list of the ones I just cannot wait to see. And I'm sure it's going to be no surprise for you, Dane, or anyone listening. But number one, I mean, take a guess at what you think my number one is, Dane, because you actually got a few options, I would think.
It is probably. Let me see. Let me check. It's probably season 2 of How I Met Your Father.
You know me
Is that
too
what it
well,
is?
Dane. You know me too
I
well.
got it.
Yeah.
I got it, Tim. I got it. I knew it. I knew you were a fan. You're a secret fan of that show. I could just tell from a mile away that was the one you were definitely looking forward to.
Well,
No,
nothing's gonna
of course, it's
top
the
that
Obi-Wan show.
anticipation.
Yeah.
That's yeah, you're right. Not quite on the level as How I Met Your Father season 2, but the Obi-Wan series. I mean, come on, it's not going to get any bigger than that, really. There's going to be something that'll be close, but I'll mention that next. But yeah, Obi-Wan, it's going to be an event, I think, unlike any other series that has been on Disney Plus so far. Ewan McGregor, obviously, Hayden Christensen back, Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, more lore added to the characters. I just cannot wait for them to dive into. Oh, it's going to be amazing. And I just can't wait till we get that actual release date of when we're going to be able to see it. Right now, I'm banking on May the 4th because they like to release things on May the 4th every year so far since Disney Plus has been around. It's been the animated stuff, but I wonder if this is going to be something where they'll really want to make a big event out of that day and have Obi-Wan premiere on May the 4th. So I'm crossing my fingers that is the case. But then also, not too far behind that is going to be Amazon's Lord of the Rings series, which just last week we got the official name and the first teaser trailer for it, where it's going to be The Rings of Power. And it was just a teaser where it didn't show any footage, but there was narration. And I believe it was confirmed that it was Galadriel who was doing the narration for that. Not played by Cate Blanchett, though, but kind of similar in vein to what it was in the Fellowship of the Ring prologue with some of the dialogue that she was saying. But the teaser was just kind of showing the ring being forged. And it was cool to get you pumped, but the titles what really got me excited for it, how it is going to be all about the rings of power, the one ring, the 9 ring for men, 3 for the elves and the dwarves. It's all that stuff that they're really going to dive into the series. I cannot wait for all that. Having it take place in the Second Age, I think there's just so much good material to mine from that era of Middle Earth, and to see the rise of power of Sauron and see characters like Elrond, Galadriel again, and during this era, it's just going to be so exciting. So again, it was just a teaser, but it was enough to. I was excited for a Lord of the Rings TV show, no matter what. But getting more info and just exactly what it's going to be about just gets me more excited for it. And I can't wait till we get to see actual footage from it. So yeah, Lord of the Rings and Obi-Wan, my 2 most anticipated series, but we're not going to be on a short of any of good TV. I think this year there's a lot of stuff coming. So, but those 2 are definitely at the top.
Yeah, what I keep forgetting about is that, like, or you tell me if I'm correct, Tim. So, like you said, there's, um, you know, 87 rings for the men, and
87.
27 rings for the elves, and 14 rings for the dwarves, right? And so Sauron got jealous, right? And he said, "You know what? I'm gonna create my own ring. You know, I don't need a ring. You don't have to give me a ring. You know, I'm actually offended that you didn't give me a ring. I'm gonna make my own ring." And so he made his own power ring, right? Is that how that worked? That is right.
Wow, there's no reason to watch the show now. I mean, you pretty much nailed it, Dave.
So Sauron got pretty much just got jealous that he didn't get a ring, right?
I don't think it's quite that simple. But
Sure, but
well,
the
Sauron is
the,
the one. Well, he
the
didn't get jealous of the ring. He made all the rings. That's the thing. So
oh, he made the rings,
yeah,
and then he made one for himself.
yes, to control all the
All
ones
the
with the
rings.
ring. Yes.
Oh, okay. I did like that teaser. It reminded me of like those animated screensavers.
That's right. Well, that's a funny comparison. But it was all done with practical effects, though, which is pretty cool.
Really?
There's like
Wow.
behind the scenes video on IGN that show them how they did the whole trailer. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it looked nice. Um, just to be different, the one show I'm looking for, being such a huge fan, is Andor. I want to see that. I
Okay.
mean, yeah,
Yeah, it's called
uh,
Andor. Yeah.
yeah. I thought at first I thought it was called Cassian, but yeah, um, Andor, because I'm such a big fan of Rogue One, and um, I hope that now I'm gonna sound like a Book of Boba Fett hater, okay, Tim?
Uh-oh.
But I'm not. I am not. But I hope they keep it where, or I hope they keep the character of Cassian, that sort of character that we met in Rogue One, where he's not really a good guy.
Yeah. Well,
He's just all
they're gonna
about.
have to, honestly, because
Yeah.
this is obviously taking place before that.
I mean, it's all about you know the rebels. I,
Mhm.
I I just hope that they keep that. But if they don't, I'm not gonna be a complainer. I'm not gonna be like, this isn't the Boba Fett I've read about, or the Cassian that I've read about in comic books and books. Even though my only example of Boba Fett is him getting knocked over by a blind man.
Cassian
So
probably has
yeah,
a little more to him than that than what Boba just had in the original trilogy. But one
and
cool thing about the
it's
Cassian as a
also
series,
oh
it's
yeah,
going to be the longest one because it's supposed to be like 12 episodes.
oh that's good. Yeah, that's good. Give it a little more space. Make
Mm,
make it more of an ensemble instead of like this is about just this one character.
yeah. I think at the opposite end of the spectrum, though, I think Obi-Wan, it's kind of rumored to be the shortest, where it might just be like 4 episodes. It's almost sort
Hmm.
of like, more, I guess, more of a movie quality feel to it, but we'll see. Again,
Yeah.
that's not confirmed or anything, but that's what I've heard before.
I really wonder how it would feel if they just did, like you said, 3 or 4 episodes of Obi-Wan, and they made it like an hour and a half each, like what Game of Thrones tried to
Yeah.
do.
I hope so. That's the thing. If it is only 4 episodes, hopefully each one's like an hour long, an
Yeah,
hour or more long.
yeah. Watch everyone is like 22 minutes.
Oh god, that'd be the biggest disappointment ever. 4 episodes and 20 minutes each. Might as well just made the movie at that point. It'd be 2 hours.
But yeah, that would make more sense. Just make an Obi-Wan movie on Disney Plus
Yeah.
instead of just a episodic television show. On not sure when the Bad Batch season 2 is supposed to come out, but I I'd really like to see the Bad Batch season 2 this year.
Oh, it's definitely coming this year. We just don't know when. I
Yeah,
mean, maybe that'll be the May the 4th release date because that's when season 1 premiered. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
just have Obi-Wan just seems like the perfect way to celebrate May the 4th. Don't you agree?
No, because we should get another Christmas special style Star Wars program on Disney Plus on May the 4th.
The holiday special returns, right? The return
Yeah,
of the holiday
the
special.
holiday special. Yeah, why not? Let's do it, Tim.
No, we should get a live action version of the animated segment where I'd have the first appearance of Boba Fett. You could use the de-aging technology for Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford in there, and then just obviously get Tamora Morrison back for Boba Fett. You could see him ride that big creature because he said he's ridden big creatures in the past already, so that's in canon.
or Tim, what I really, really want on May the 4th this year is, so they secretly did it, Tim, behind everybody's back, right? Or while no one was looking, they secretly made a spin-off of Book of Boba Fett, and it's Danny Trejo, the Rancor Wrangler.
The Rancor Wrangler. Yeah, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that second. You wouldn't even have to tell me about it, Tim. I would just automatically be attracted to that.
See, we should be planning the next Star Wars series. You got the holiday special return with a live action segment of that animated classic, the Rancor Wrangler. I mean, you got your next Disney Plus series all set up.
Exactly. But I kind of would agree if I just saw it on Twitter that Star Wars fans are like, oh, just make Bryce Dallas Howard the next director of Star Wars, the next Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. Yeah, she's a good director.
I would love that, but it just makes me laugh sometimes. See that everyone's like the majority of fans are saying that. Then probably when we get the movie, they'll be complaining about it, certain things, because it just like happens time and time again. We want this director. I mean, I remember the time where let's get J.J. Abrams to do a Star Wars movie. Great. Now look at that. And then even to some degree, it's not on. You see with everything. With Clone Wars and Dave Filoni, he's brilliant. He still is brilliant in telling Star Wars stories. Like he's the one person who gets Star Wars better than anyone other than George Lucas. And how great it would be for him to do some live action stuff. We get it. Now I'm seeing complaints about him or Dave Filoni shouldn't be involved with this stuff. What? It's like no matter who you want, there's going to be a segment of fans that's going to either turn or just try to be different and say, no, this person isn't good for it, whatever. So it's like no matter who you think is going to be the best at it, they could do and will be the best, but yet they'll still get people complaining about it. You just can't win sometimes with some people.
What are they complaining about with Dave Filoni?
I don't know. It's like even when Book of Boba Fett started, I saw some tweets saying like I'm tired of the Filoni Favreau's take on Star Wars, and let's get something different. Or I'll just I don't get it. I honestly don't, because like for the reasons I said. They're just not the best at right now at telling Star Wars stories. And I love the sequel trilogy. I love what J.J. Abrams did. I like most of what Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi, but no one does it better than what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing right now. And that's what a lot of fans during the Clone Wars were asking for live action. We got it, but again, it's all, I guess, different opinions, and you're never going to please anybody. But it's just surprising to me where it's like you would think there'd be one like. You can't say universal because that's impossible. Just one where the majority, and I think The Mandalorian is the majority. Everyone loves it, but there's always got to be those who got to make their voices heard and just complain about certain things. And those people will just never be pleased with anything. So I don't know, just a little rant ahead to get off my chest, because like I said, I would love to see Bryce Dallas Howard do a movie too. I think she would knock it out of the park. But just everyone who's clamoring for that, once it happens, then those are going to come out of the woodwork and say, why is she doing this? Or she's not that good or something, because we've seen it before with other Star Wars directors and creators. So that's the end of my rant.
Well, if people are complaining that George Lucas was making Star Wars,
yes,
nobody really has a chance after that.
I know, like this is whatever. Again, that goes back to everything with everyone being disappointed with the sequel trilogy. That's what you wanted. No one wanted George Lucas Star Wars anymore because everyone's hated. I'm using air quotes here.
Prequels,
Hated the
yeah.
prequels, and now look at it. Now you're seeing everyone now kind of jumping on the prequel bandwagon, so to speak. Where, and that's. I mean, I love seeing the prequels get the recognition that they deserve forever, but now it just feels like it's more. I don't want to say everyone, but I'm noticing more bandwagons on. They're like now kind of giving them praise that they've always should have had for what George Lucas did with that story. So the Star Wars fandom can be a curious bunch, that's for sure, and a frustrating one.
So speaking of Star Wars, I can't believe they're still making expansion packs for
The Old Republic. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
And every single time, they get me every single time, Tim. It's like, I see the Old Republic and I think Knights of the Old Republic. And it's like, oh, they're releasing something for the Knights of the Republic of the Old Republic remake. You know? And it's like, oh no, it's the video game.
That MMO that's been
What is
going
that,
on for almost
MMO? Yeah.
10 years now. Yeah. Or yeah, it's actually over 10 years. That's right.
Really? It's been over
Yeah.
10 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it came out in
I remember
2011.
I remember when that game first came out and the hype behind it that it was going
Yeah.
to kill World of Warcraft.
Not really.
Yeah. I remember getting excited about it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play that. And then I was like, yeah, my computer's not going to play that. So,
Kind of screwed. I'm surprised it never came to consoles.
yeah. Why didn't they put it to maybe too many button presses or whatever?
I don't know. Well, speaking of video games, I guess we could say what our most anticipated video games of 2022 are going to be. And I have some like there would be easy picks, but I don't know if they're really coming out in 2022. I kind of doubt it, but just to throw them out there just in case. Knights of the Old Republic remake would be great if that came out this year, but I have a feeling that's going to be 2023, the earliest. And Final Fantasy 16, Square Enix and their release date, so I'm not going to hold my breath. They didn't even say it's coming out in 2022, but they announced it, I think, at the end of 2020, kind of towards the end of 2020, and they said kept hearing it's further along in development than you would think, and now we haven't heard too much on it. So I don't think that's coming out, and I definitely don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake Chapter 2, Part 2, whatever it's going to be called, will be out this year. But it would be nice if I could say those are coming out in 2022 because it's been a while since 2 years since Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then the Final Fantasy 16 announcement almost 2 years ago. Would have been nice if those, because there was only 2 year gaps before announcement and release. But just had to mention them. But two kind of at the top of my list. This one's going to be when it's just a simple arcade beat 'em up, but when it's the Ninja Turtles and arcade style beat 'em up, that's immediately shooting near the top of my list for anticipated games. The Teenage Mutant Ninja 2 Revenge of or not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. It's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Revenge of the Shredder. And they're just really going for that old school arcade style beat 'em up. The graphic style, not my favorite, I'm going to be honest. They're definitely going for the animated look from the original 87 series. But if it captures that iconic classic 4-player beat 'em up style that the arcade games have, I mean, it's going to be awesome. It looks fun. I can't wait to play 4-player co-op on it. I'm hoping it's early 2022. It's supposed to be out in 2021 late, but it got pushed back. So hopefully it won't be too long, but I can't wait for that. But at the top of the list, and this one I'm pretty confident will be out in 2022. It might be towards the end, but how can my most anticipated game not be Breath of the Wild 2? Or I imagine it's going to be called something else, but until we get the official announcement of the title, Breath of the Wild 2 is what it's referred to now. And it's going to be awesome to go back to that version of Hyrule again. And just the 2 trailers we've gotten for it just are really intriguing for what's going to be set up in the story and the gameplay style of it. How there's going to be, looks like some connections maybe to Skyward Sword, where there's like, you see those sky islands up in the sky and the exploration there. And it's just going to be, I just cannot wait to see what the Zelda team does with this one, knowing what an amazing job they did with Breath of the Wild and how they always like to try to do something different and to top themselves with each new game. So, and I imagine this one's going to be probably their most ambitious yet. So Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever it's going to be called down the road, it's gonna, without a question, be the game of the year for me. So just a matter of when it's gonna be out in 2022. But when it does, that's where all my time's gonna be. When it comes to game, it's all gonna be in there. So that is easily my most anticipated for 2022.
For me, just the big one, I guess you could say now that I have an Xbox, is Starfield. I don't think they're gonna hit that release date.
When is it supposed to be?
11/11/22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At least they gave themselves some time putting it at the end of the year.
Yeah, November. I don't think they're gonna hit that date, but I've been wrong before, and I'm gonna wait for a review on that.
Well, Dane,
it's
you mean
just the
I imagine it'll probably be on Game Pass day one because it's
right.
Bethesda
It's
doing
Xbox.
it, right?
Yeah, it's an Xbox Game Pass game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exclusive.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So maybe not then. Yeah, I'm just wondering if they can hit that 11/11/22 date. It certainly looks interesting. I love space games. Um, the other game I'm looking for is a smaller one. It's a game that I've sort of played casually for a little bit on PlayStation. Is
okay.
Crusader Kings 3. It's released now on PC and Mac, I think, but they just haven't released the console version yet. I love that series of games as a casual sort of like, I'm bored right now. Let's go play a strategy game.
Okay.
Um,
One of those
I
type of
really
quick.
like the system. Yeah, I really like the systems of like how you can be like a different sort of king. You can, raise taxes, you can lower taxes, and all these little different things. It's just fun to play.
Okay.
I don't really take it that serious, like how I would take like a Mass Effect game seriously. But yeah, probably Crusader Kings 3. Also, one that I haven't heard really anything about since it was premiered at the PlayStation. I can't remember what it was. Was the PlayStation Expo, or was it the launch of the PS5, or the premiere of the PS5? Is Stray, the cat game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'm glad
Totally.
you remembered that. Yes.
Yeah, I keep on forgetting about that, and then I just saw a quick picture of it about a week ago, and I was like, "Oh, I totally forgot about that game." And
Yeah.
I can't remember
That
if that
looks.
game was supposed to be. Yeah, was that supposed to be um, a launch game? That
No, it's
was
never supposed to
the
be a
original,
launch
right?
game.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, that's what I thought. And do you remember when it premiered?
I think it
Was it
was.
the Game Expo?
Yeah, I think it was not the PS5 launch,
Yeah,
but it was like one of the video events they had like after that, I believe. I'm like
yeah.
not 100% sure, but they've had a few since then, so it was one of those.
Yeah, so probably Stray.
Yeah,
I
I got to put
it's a
that on
game I
there
keep
too.
forgetting
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
it definitely looked
keep forgetting
intriguing.
about.
And another one I forgot to mention too. We finally got to uh, get the release of the two DC games coming out. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League again. Not super excited about it, but Batman Gotham Knights, that one I really looking forward to playing. And I know that one's been delayed also into 2022, so hopefully it comes out this year. But looking forward to some fun co-op action on that one with the Bat family members. So gotta throw that
Yeah.
one in there too.
Another thing, or another game, that I'm sort of looking forward to as a fun little thing that you can play on the side is the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
Yeah,
Um,
that looks really good when it comes like just even not even
it
making it
got
as a Lego
delayed, right?
game.
It
Yeah,
got
it's got
delayed,
delayed a
right?
lot.
Yeah, yeah. It's supposed to come out last year, right?
Yeah,
No, no,
I want to say even
2020, right?
2020.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they had just announced the release date for that. I think it was April 11th or something like that, sometime in April. Yeah, but it does look really good. You could kind of see the polish it has and why it's been delayed so much because the graphics on it look really impressive. And just
April
how much,
5th.
okay,
Yeah,
and just how much it looks to be cramming in there.
yeah, yeah. Just as a fun little thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through like a release, like 2022 games. Another one that was like a casual, fun game to play. We talked about on an episode when it was announced that Warner Brothers Multiverses with all the different Warner Brothers IP were pretty much their Smash Brothers game.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I forgot.
that one I'm looking forward to too. Yeah, as always, no shortage of video games in 2022. Just the matter of finding the time to play them and the money. But that's why Game Pass is so great. Because especially for Microsoft games, the big games that you're looking forward to, you have a subscription, you can just play it because most games are like $70 now on this new console generation. So it's like, it really has to be one I have to play on day one in order to make that first day purchase. So, but with Xbox Game Pass, for any first party games, you don't have to worry about that. So that makes it really, really nice.
Yeah. It's like I mean, I don't speak for you, obviously, Tim, but I don't really care about the Halo franchise. But because it's a part of the Game Pass, like
why not, right?
I'm gonna play. Yeah, I've got it downloaded on my Xbox, so I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, I just started playing Halo Infinite this week, and I'm really enjoying it. When I first started, like the first 2 missions, it felt like, okay, your typical Halo game. Graphics look really great, but nothing that feels different or new besides a fun grappling hook. But once you get onto the actual Halo ring and it becomes an open world, that's where you start saying, oh man, this is really like different and great, like addition to the Halo franchise. I'm really enjoying the open world aspect to the first person shooter because I don't think I've really played an open world first person shooter game. I know there's some out there like Destiny, but I've never actually played it. But this one has been really fun so far.
Oh, so it is an open world where you can go and do the quests and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The only thing
it's not like you're transitioning into a thing.
No.
Right. Oh, okay.
The only thing is, which is disappointing because it was delayed a whole year. You think that'd be included in the launch? Is there's no co-op in the campaign yet? It won't be available until like May. And as I'm playing, I was like, oh man, this would be really fun in co-op. So it's like it kind of stinks. Yeah, still away from that.
And you can't go back and play the previous missions, right?
I don't think so. Yeah, I haven't really looked into that. I'm sure they're going to add stuff to it once it becomes available, or find someone who hasn't played it yet and play it with them again because it'd still be fun. But I'm having fun.
So I wonder what happens when you get to the end of the game. Then what is that just like a dead space?
Yeah, or like some more stuff opens up. But I have a feeling they'll probably add stuff. It'd probably be like season pass DLC and all that I think added to it. But
have you played the multiplayer?
I did. I was actually playing some of it last night. It is fun. I mean, I don't play a lot of first person shooter multiplayers because I never do good, but Halo's always been my favorite. Like I actually get some kills in Halo where it's not just I'm getting my butt kicked, and they're just fun. Like Capture the Flag I did a fun one last night on that, and then Team Slayer and one where like you have to hold on to, I forget the actual term of this type of game, but like we have to hold on to an object for a certain amount of time and you have no weapon and your team has to protect you. So like it's just really fun, and I don't do terrible at it, so, which makes it why I enjoy the Halo ones the best. The only negative is like all the like cosmetic upgrades and stuff, the customization you can do to your armor. It's all like it's almost like the paid DLC stuff where like you have to pay to unlock the stuff. It's not just where you get it through progression. Some of them you do, but I think like the cool stuff is the ones you have to actually pay for.
Microtransactions.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully
unless I'm wrong, unless I just haven't looked into it long enough. When I just glance at the menu, it seems like it's stuff you have to pay for.
I see.
But with Game Pass, it won't make it too bad because you're not paying anything for the game. So.
Yeah, I just can't get into the multiplayer shooters sort of games. I don't know if my reaction is too slow or if it's like, no, I'm not twitchy enough. But I always end up dead, like, and I don't see the guy kill me.
Exactly, it doesn't make it fun.
Yeah, it's not fun for me.
So I've never played the Call. Oh, I have, but I haven't played the Call of Duty games since their multiplayer. Since the first. Or since Call of Duty 4 came out on the Xbox 360, that was the only one I dove a little bit into, and then I just did terrible.
Well, if they do a co-op sort of like not the missions from the the game, but they create like more of a new
Yeah,
sort of like missions where you can do it with other people.
totally.
You know, I
And
could see
actually,
myself playing that.
same. And my favorite type of like multiplayer shooter is like survival co-op, where you're just facing waves and waves of enemies that just get bigger and bigger
Right.
the more you do. I love that type of shooter multiplayer. That to me, that's the most fun. Where you just get a group of friends and you just try to see how long you can survive working together to take out these hordes of enemies. Because they had that in some of the other Halo games. The one in Halo Reach was tons of fun, and Gears of War really made that I think popular. Their horde mode, that was
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah.
I wish that was something
Uh,
Battlefront had, like a good survival type thing. Where it's like you and four other players surviving against waves of enemies, which is so much fun.
they had co-op, right? In Battlefront 2.
Yeah, they did. But
Yeah,
not for
where
the
it's like
campaign though.
you. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
okay. It almost felt more like a tack on than something they really put more effort into other areas of the multiplayer than that.
Battlefront 2 has like one of the most frustrating, like I'm trying to shoot you, but you're the aiming is really bad.
Really, I didn't really
Yeah,
have that trouble too much, but
uh again, maybe it's just me that has a problem with that.
stick to a lightsaber, not a blaster or a gun.
But even then, I would go like, let's just say Kylo Ren, and then do a big swing of the lightsaber and completely miss the guy.
Then I guess it is you, Dane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's me too. Wow, I gotta stop playing these games. All single player only for me, I
Yeah.
guess.
That's the majority of what I play anyway. It's like I said, it's rare
Yeah.
when I do multiplayer nowadays. But
I'm surprised they haven't done a Mass Effect MMO. You know, it'd be the
yeah,
perfect universe for it, but
that's a good point. Yeah,
surprised they haven't done one. Especially like when those games were releasing, that was the prime time for MMOs, right?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had a plan, but scrapped maybe Anthem took its place.
Wow, that was not worth it. That
Mass
was not
Effect
worth the
3
time and effort.
Mass Effect 3 did have a really fun multiplayer though. I wish they would have included it in the Legendary Edition, but they didn't. It was a fun four-player co-op
Oh,
shooter
really?
based, yeah.
Oh, and what like it's like a mission,
Yeah, you
like a
basically
separate mission from the game.
yeah, you go to these locations in Mass Effect 3 and then you'd be able to do them a multiplayer. And it was basically I can't say too much without spoiling, but it affected kind of the story and a little bit of the outcome the more you played the multiplayer and how it affected something you're trying to do in the main story of Mass Effect 3. It was pretty cool how they integrated it. That's just why I'm disappointed how it didn't return for the Legendary remake. But
I actually you have not played it, but the only multiplayer game I had an advantage in was The Last of Us multiplayer.
oh, okay.
Just because it was so complicated and creating stuff like building stuff and getting supplies and stuff where you could just go behind somebody that was building stuff and kill them. That's the only sort of multiplayer that I was semi Tim successful at.
Where you actually got some kills in, right?
Yeah. I wasn't the kill,
Yeah. I didn't realize Last of Us had a multiplayer. I probably didn't
Yeah.
realize that. Yeah.
Nobody played it.
Yeah. There you go.
Except for me, apparently, and a couple other people, I guess.
That's why I did so good.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess the last thing is on the comic and book front. I mean, not too many stuff's jumping out at me as far as comic stuff. As you know, I've said before, kind of stepped away from like the main Marvel and DC comic runs. I do my catch up now on Marvel Unlimited and DC Universe. So, but like no big event stuff really has grabbed my attention. I am enjoying the Tom Taylor's Knights of Steel story, the medieval DC Universe comics, that's one of the few I've been buying monthly, which has been good. But I guess I'm gonna be kind of do an obvious one here for my anticipated comic of 2022, and it's just got to be The Last Ronin, the final issue. We talked about how issue 2 was my favorite of 2021, and the last one just might be my favorite of 2022. We'll see, but just the anticipation for it. I mean, knowing what we got in the story and just to see find out how it ends, I just can't wait to read it. So kind of a no-brainer, but TMNT, The Last Ronin, issue 5, my most anticipated comic. And I'll just throw in a book out there I can't wait for too, which obviously no surprise here either, a Star Wars novel, but the one called Shadows of the Sith, which is going to do more with Luke and Lando kind of investigating to their investigation to find the planet Exegol and how they dealt with Ochi of Bestoon and the stuff that kind of teased in Rise of Skywalker. And I remember seeing the movie thinking, man, the stuff they're mentioning here would make for a great book that I hope we get someday. And we're going to get it this year. So that one I'm really looking forward to when it comes to new Star Wars novels. There's going to be some exciting Star Wars novels coming out this year. There's another one about Obi-Wan and Anakin. That should be pretty cool just to kind of get a new story set in that era of them as Master and Apprentice before the Clone Wars. So, and I believe that book is going to actually show and detail how Anakin becomes a Jedi Knight and moves on from a Padawan. So, some good Star Wars books coming out in 2022 that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Shadows. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, probably that, and on December 31st, the Last Ronin will come out.
December 31st. I don't say that. It's supposed to be early 2022, I think, from what I'm hearing. So I'm hoping like March, April, something like that.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, come on. We have to be optimistic, but yet realistic also, and not expect it to be right around the corner. Well, I guess that'll do it. Well, actually, I'll say something personal that I'm looking forward to in 2022. I'll be going in next month, Dane, actually. Well, we're still in January, but in March, I will be attending 311 Day this year in 2022 in Vegas. Yes.
Oh, good. Get your booster.
I'm getting my booster next week, actually. So.
Oh, good.
I'll have it just in time.
I can't wait to hear your field report of the 311 Day. So what are they doing different this year? Because you figure they haven't really had it the last 2 years. So like, what are they going to be doing different?
They didn't have it last. They didn't have it last year. Obviously, they do it every other year. Is where they do like their big concerts, and they pretty much did their last one in 2020, like just in time before everything started shutting down because of the pandemic. It's like they just made it in. And then afterwards is when everything started shutting down. But so they didn't really miss a year because they do it bi-yearly. So, but this one it's going to be 2 nights, Friday and Saturday, extended set lists on each night. So, but it's kind of just their formula. The one in 2020, they went really big. They did a 3-day event, which I wish I would have went to, but wasn't able to. But this will be my second 311 Day event. I went to one in 2012, so this will be nice to kind of have it where it's exactly 10 years since my first one, and then going back to experience it again. I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be at the MGM Park Theater, which I've seen videos and images of the venue. It looks really like a great venue to see a show. Not too big where it's like an arena, but every seat is like a good seat where you can see the stage and don't feel like you're super far away. So I feel I got a nice seat, but again, it's one of those areas where no seats is a bad seat. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait because it's been a while since I've been to a 311 show, and to have it be a 311 Day show, no less, it's going to be really, really fun. So looking forward to, experiencing it and then giving my field report on the show, because I wasn't able to do it when I had my first one, because I remember actually emailing like you and Gary and PJ where we're started trying to set up Bat-Fans on the Batman universe and trying to get a date set up. And because I believe our first episode was in April, if I remember right, 10 years ago almost. And so, couldn't really recap 311 Day, my first one, if we didn't have a podcast to talk on. So,
so let me get this straight. So you're going down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or going to Las Vegas. Is it always in Las Vegas, or do they change it?
it used to be in New Orleans. That's where they usually had it. Then 2010 was the first time they did it in Vegas, and they kind of switched back and forth between Vegas and New Orleans. But the last few years, it's been Vegas.
Oh, I see. And then, so you're gonna go for both nights then?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you are you gonna be meeting like fans, the 311 fans that you've talked with on Twitter, and then like you're gonna get like see them for the first
I hope
time?
so. That'd be nice because I know a lot of the people I follow on Twitter who are fellow 311 fans are going, so it'd be kind of cool to meet up with them for the first time. So that's another kind of added aspect I didn't have on the first 311 day show, because I was on Twitter then, but at the time I only had like 10 followers or something like that, so I didn't really have too many Twitter friends back then. But since then, got to know a lot of fellow 311 fans on Twitter, which has been cool. So looking forward to hopefully be able to meet some of them when we go to the weekend 311 day. So that's another added bonus to it.
Well, hopefully you have fun, Tim. Hopefully nothing gets in the way.
Yes,
You don't
I have no
cancel
doubt
it.
I'll have
Yeah.
fun, but like you said, hopefully nothing gets in the way.
Nobody can't. They don't cancel it.
Yes.
Because I saw like Adele canceled her Vegas stay or whatever, her Vegas concerts, and like, well, I hope 311 doesn't have to do the same thing.
I hope not either, but like we still got a little bit of a ways to go, so we never know. But
Yeah.
so far, it's looking good that it's going to happen. Well, unfortunately, Dane's internet decided to go out right as we're about to wrap up the episode. But I'll go ahead and take us out with the outro, since Dane, unfortunately, we lost him because of his internet. But as always, thank you everyone for listening. You can find us over at the Batman Universe at thebatmanuniverse.net. You can follow us on Twitter at BatFansPodcast. And if you want to send us an email, you can send it to @batfanswithoutpants@gmail.com. So, and with that, like we say at the end of every single episode, we love each and every one of you with all of our Mass Effect biotic hearts. See you next time, everybody.
Sundies under Gotham, crime alleys, rich boys' tomb, the stealing cat, two faces of a coin, scarecrows, fright.